everybody? This is the Oregon Football Report. I am your host, Will Ortner, and I'm coming to you live from the house because, well, we had some big news going on with the Ducks and a wide receiver entering into the transfer portal. Then we have to give a breakdown of the Ducks against James Madison University. First round of the college football playoff coming up tomorrow. Want to give a final preview, breakdown, matchups to watch, keys to victory, all that kind of stuff. So make sure that you hang out and smash that like button. While you're already here, smash the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. We're just 300 or so subscribers away. Help us get there. We're the fastest growing channel on Chat Sports. By the way, shout out Southwest Washington. Got a little Hawkinson football gear on. For those of you that don't know, I'm from that Vancouver area, so I've been watching the Ducks since I grew up when I was little. I remember the Jonathan Stewart days. Come on now, I remember the Jonathan Stewart days. Most people claim I know the Dennis Dixon days. No. I know the Jonathan Stewart days. All right, enough about the nostalgia. Let's talk about the here and the now. Obviously, Hayes Fawcett of On3 announced that Justius Lowe is going to enter into the transfer portal. I think that is important to note because Justius Lowe had been a pretty big wide receiver for the Oregon Ducks last season. There were some injuries. Some guys got banged up, nicked up. Justius Lowe came in and he was a very big performer for the team. He was a clutch performer for the team. He helped kind of fill in when Tez wasn't right. He helped fill in when Evan Stewart wasn't right. And so it kind of felt like the local product, the local kid, was poised to be one of the star wide receivers on this unit, or at least, worst case, wide receiver number 3 maybe wide receiver number 2. Maybe I was just buying in too much to the local kid. Who knows? I'm sure someone in the comments will tell me that I'm a big dumb idiot and that Lowe was never going to be a big wide receiver for the Oregon Ducks. But it felt like Lowe got passed over this year. It felt like Dakoda Moore came in and beat him out. And even like with Evan Stewart being out for most of this entire season, or in fact has been out for this entire season, hopefully we get him back for the playoff. You kind of thought Lowe would get some more shine, get some more run, and he really didn't. Had less than 100 yards receiving on the season, no touchdowns. Only got targeted a couple times, and he frankly just kind of got passed up. Malik Benson passed him, Dakoda Moore. You saw, obviously, Gary Bryant Jr. pass him up ahead of him. So it felt like there just wasn't a whole lot of room there. Now, Justice Lowe did announce that he's going to enter into the portal. He was listed as out on the injury report. It's not going to be a massive loss, I would say, right? Like, no one's saying Justice Lowe is going to be the difference between this Oregon football team winning a national title this year and not. But I do think it is a big deal when you have a player, a depth piece on your team that isn't going to be around and is going to enter into the transfer portal, especially a local kid. And right now, the Ducks have done a good job of staving off a lot of those internal transfer portal leavers, I guess I should say, or guys who are going to enter into the transfer portal to leave the program. And it's smart. There's no reason for them to announce that they're going to enter in the portal yet. They have until January 2nd. And if the team actually ends up going for a big run, they will get an extension. So it's smart. Coach Lanning has said, hey, I want my guys focused on the here and now. They can focus on next year later on. And that's a good job and a good deal. But as we get closer and closer to January 1st, are we going to see more guys announced? You already have 4 Oregon Ducks players in the transfer portal, or former Oregon Ducks players, I should say. Jahlil Florence, Dakoda Fields, Solomon Davis, and now Justice Lowe. There's going to be more Ducks players that enter into that conversation and say that they are going to enter in the transfer portal. The question will be, are there going to be any key contributors? And also, how many players go into the NFL draft this year from the Ducks? Because if you see more Ducks players go into the draft, like Kenyon Sadiq, if you saw like a Mateo Uyunglele, Dante Moore, guys who could potentially stay back but decide not to and go into the draft, does that keep some of the players here on this roster? And then as you go through the recruiting cycle, you already have one of the best classes in the college football world. Will you be able to add in more in that transfer portal to help booster some of what's going on with this Ducks team? Dan Lanning has done a great job of doing that. So don't be shocked if Justice Lowe is just the latest Duck player to enter into the portal, not the last. What is your one-word reaction to Justice Lowe entering into the transfer portal? I think for me, it's a little bit disappointed. Maybe it's bummed. Bummed is probably the best word. I'm a big fan of local products. Lowe is a local kid, came from the state of Oregon. I liked watching him last year. I wanted him to succeed. I do think it's best for his career to move on and go somewhere else. And I don't think that necessarily the Oregon football team is like really, really hurting from Justice Lowe leaving. But that doesn't mean I can't be bummed that it didn't work out for him in Eugene. Now, let's dive in to that JMU game. I think it's going to be important that we mention the elephant in the room. I've been hyping on it. I've been saying that they're coming back. And it feels like Dakoda Moore basically let the cat out of the bag. Going on Instagram, social media, wherever he posted it, and just posting a picture where he says, back. If that's not him saying that he's going to play in this game, I don't know what is. If you need more of a sign than that, I don't know what to tell you. Apparently, you are a big wait until you see it person. I think he's playing in this game. Getting Dakoda Moore back is going to be huge for this team. I still think that you probably get Gary Bryant Jr. back. We'll wait and see on what's going on with Evan Stewart, but all three of them practicing. This is a great game to get them reps. I understand that the weather's not going to be great necessarily, but seeing live game action is always important. There's a reason why teams like Oregon, teams like USC, these big Power 4 teams schedule those FCS opponents early on because it's a preseason game. You get to warm up before you see real action. Not saying that JMU is an FCS opponent, but there is a clear talent discrepancy. Let Dakoda Moore get some reps. Throw him the ball a couple times. Let's see what he's going to do. I think he's going to play. He basically announced that he's going to play. So let's let him run around on the field, and I can't wait to see him back in action for the Ducks. All right, here are my keys to victory. I got 4 of them for this Oregon football team. Most importantly, on the defensive side of the football, stop the run. JMU is the 4th ranked national team in college football when it comes to running the football. Their quarterback, Alonzo Barnett, does a great job with his legs. Wayne Knight, top running back, top rusher for this team. They are good on the ground. The problem is they played one Power 4 team. That was Louisville. Not a world beater as far as Power 4 teams are concerned. Guess what Louisville did? They held them to under 3 yards a carry. Do the same thing, Oregon. Beat up on JMU. You have better talent, you have better schemes, and your players have better work ethic. Not necessarily work ethic, but drive, strive. You're the better team. You're more talented. Work ethic might not have been completely fair to JMU. Those guys work hard too. But you have a better talented team, and I think you're a better coach team. I think schematically, you are going to be set up to stop this squad. And sometimes when talent meets hard work, talent still wins. I know that people like to say, oh, if you just work hard, eventually you can achieve greatness. No, not necessarily, because sometimes that guy who's got more talent than you also works hard. So I would love to see this Oregon team sell out for the run early. Bear Alexander flying around, Washington flying around, Mateo Uyunglele, Tatum Tuioti, make big plays early. I want to see Bryce Betcher flying around, making big hits. Stop this rushing attack and end this game early, because then JMU has to throw, and while they're fine at throwing the football, they're not great. So find a way to stop that rushing attack. Next, start fast. If the Oregon Ducks start fast in this game, put their foot on the freaking throat of this JMU Duke squad, it's going to end. They've been hearing all week that they're going to lose. They've been hearing all month that they're going to lose. They've been hearing basically since the first college football playoff ranking came out that they didn't deserve to be in here. They had an easy little schedule, right? The Sun Belt is weak. The Fun Belt, it's fun because no one plays defense. Go out there and beat the ever-living you-know-what out of them. Do it early. Big plays early in the ground game and in the passing attack. Defensively, big 3 and out to start the game. Do not allow JMU to have any hope, because that's when weird S happens. That's when weird stuff starts to go the other way for this team. Do not let JMU believe. Put their belief out immediately, and you're going to win this football game. Next, create explosive plays. Big runs early. big passing plays early, chunk plays. Again, the weather's not going to be great. You're used to it. You're from the Pacific Northwest. You've been around there this entire week where it's been not great, right? I've seen the pictures. Southwest Washington, a lot of the schools end up getting canceled because there was so much wind, like knocking over trees, knocking over fences, all kinds of stuff. Flooding, like run the football and get big explosive plays. Pass the football and get big explosive plays. Big explosive leads to big chunk plays, easy touchdowns. Again, end the game early. That will help do it. Most important to me, stay freaking healthy. I don't necessarily know if this is a key to victory because I think Oregon can win with a decent chunk of the backups in. But by staying healthy, you allow yourself to go on a deep run. We can see what happens when a key injury happens. Look at Georgia last year. They have their QB go down, ends up not going well for Carson Beck. He has that big elbow injury. Now you got to go with Gunnar Stockton. They weren't the same team. I don't know that Georgia loses to Notre Dame with Carson Beck. I don't know that Notre Dame doesn't beat Georgia with Carson Beck. But when you don't have some of your stars, that plays a big role, especially late. Sometimes these late postseason games are about survival of the fittest. So be fit, stay healthy. You're finally getting healthy. Stay healthy in Eugene. Then get ready to go play a Texas Tech team that it'd be fun to beat them 2 times in 3 years? 2 times in 3 years. I think my math is correct there. Find a way to win this game. Move on, stay healthy, and then we'll have a grand old time on New Year's Day. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We will be live on Saturday for the Oregon JMU game. Yes, live on the channel. You can hang out with me. You can interact with me in the chat. You have to be subscribed to interact with me in the chat, but I'm giving shout outs. I'm calling out people by name. We're having conversations. If you want to have a take on the Ducks, you can bounce it off me. You can bounce it off my good buddy Searle. We are going to have a grand old time watching the Oregon Ducks. So have the game on, have me on next to it. I'll be giving you a great play-by-play call for it. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all next time.